Right. I believe that's different. Whatever. Yeah. They've added a pool. And private rooms. I see. You always had a pool.
No, new addition.
I see. And,
Been a while since you've been here. We're, expanding in a lot of different ways.
I see. And District Zero was able to afford you enough water to fill a swimming pool without killing people?
District Zero?
Or did you...
Now the Whispers are good customers, but, they're not the ones that paid for the water. I did.
Well, yes, but it comes from District Zero. It's where
Not all my money comes from D0.
Right.
Actually, very little does.
The electricity, the plumbing, most utilities go through District Zero.
Oh. Sorry. I am assuming that you're assuming of certain revenue avenues of mine. Never mind. Yes, I know most of that comes from District Zero.
No, quite
My apologies.
literally. Assuming that it's... are you going with the bath motif, or is it an actual pool?
It's an actual pool, and I got the water from a fish lady who can summon water.
Millions of gallons of water summoned.
It's only a 10,000 gallon pool. It's not that big.
Right. Well, business...
Get you a drink?
No, I am on the job right now. So... drinks would not be
Fair enough.
And do you have
I know you're a busy
information
lady,
you deem
and,
necessary for me?
Yeah. I got a few things. I know it's been a while since we talked, and last time we met, we didn't exactly talk business, so...
Right.
I guess I'll get to the big, like, quote-unquote important stuff first, I suppose. Jonas Hemwick. Your opinions on the man?
Well, you can't read him like a book. That makes him a good businessman. He has connections. His operations are on the surface, above the table. I believe, his main avenue of income is transportation and vacations, correct?
Supposedly.
Yeah, so on the surface, a glorified travel agent.
In reality, a mercenary overlord asserts.
Yes.
And vying for the councilman's seat.
Of Palace District, of course.
Indeed.
I don't think he'd done much research in Zafira when he decided to move into the Palace District. At least territory-wise.
Well, he's not ignorant of your existence, if that's what you're implying.
Of course not.
I've spoken with the man a few times.
Yes. See, mentioning that he's going for a council seat, I would garner a laugh if I thought he wasn't capable of attempting this feat. Is this a concern?
He's looking for people to back him.
Oh, I see. Well,
Myself included.
And how do you think that would go over if you were to back Mr. Hemwick while leasing this rather nice area of the Palace District from me?
I know how it would go, that's why I'm bringing it to you, right?
Are you asking for my permission?
Not asking for permission, I'm keeping you informed.
Okay.
As per our agreement.
Yes. So, am I to understand you're not backing him?
Why would I? I know what you do to people. I know what I do for you. You think I'm looking to end up in one of my own blue barrels in the basement?
Valid, though, mechanical sushi does not sound very tasty.
No, it does not. Regardless, he's under the impression that I am dissatisfied with our arrangement.
Now that's getting interesting.
I don't personally, I don't really care for the politics of Palace District. I only care about running this club and doing my business that actually makes me money, which is not this club.
Out of curiosity, what is his position on your... Well, what does he think you are dissatisfied with?
I gave him the impression that I'm looking for more freedom. But I've got plenty.
I'm starting to become confused as to why you have called me here.
I want to know what you want me to do about this fellow. He wants my help. He seems to be under the impression that I am willing to be so suicidal. Do you want to exploit this thread, or shall I clip it?
You really think you can clip Mr. Hemwick? And
No,
his agency?
I'm not saying I'm going to clip Hamwick. I'm saying, do you want me to cut ties with him? I'm not so stupid to think I can kill Jonas Hemwick. What are you, nuts?
No.
I'm small fish.
In your honest opinion, as a business owner in Zafira, do you feel as though Jonas would be beneficial to you or not in the council?
Whoever's in the council would only benefit me as long as they keep their noses out of my own business, madam.
And
because you know what I actually do for a living.
And what has he offered you for your backing then? Because clearly he's not going to come in blind.
We haven't gotten that far yet. He wants me to publicly support him, put up, campaign flyers, that sort of thing, the politics sort of thing. He seems to be under the impression that if he does this for me, if I do this for him, in exchange, if he takes the seat, he won't get in my way of my business dealings as far as the narcotics trade is concerned. But that's not an issue, is it?
See, that is the details I was looking for. Not too concerned about your cover story, but more of your revenue avenues and how a councilman will affect those.
Indeed. Because that is the truth of the matter. It gets officiated. That implies that things in Palace won't be as exploitable as they currently are. A lot of folks operate in this part of town without licenses, without
everyone
needing
in this part of town
blessings.
Wow. That is true. The majority of people in this part of town do not operate under any kind of blessings. Just given privilege.
Like myself.
Like yourself, to a greater degree, of course. So, you're happy...
very generous with your offers. I have no complaints with you. You're only charging me 20,000 credits a month, and other services rendered.
Yes. There's definitely some bit of a symbiotic relationship happening, I guess. So...
More or less.
To maintain this symbiotic relationship, I want you to play his game. Back him.
Of course. By your order.
Put up flyers. Tell whomever you want that you support Mr. Hemwick and his lofty governmental aspirations. And if anyone asks, because clearly most people know that you are operating within my district, about me, avoid the topic for now.
Certainly.
Yes.
Business as usual with Hemwick, then. Got it.
I guess not necessarily business as usual. It would be the buddings of a new relationship. I assume up to this point you haven't had one with him, so...
Beyond that of being a humble bartender and scheduling his company Christmas party on these grounds, no, not much else. 21st, by the way. Public attendance. Feel free to drop by, say hello.
I'll have my secretary check on the schedule then. If Hemwick is going to be having some kind of big shindig here, that should attract the things.
Obviously, he knows about us. But I wanted to explore what he wanted. I've got no love for Hemwick. Some friends of mine actually warned me about him, but my line of work pays to play nice with everybody.
Of course. Play in the gray area and stay out of the red.
Of course.
Of course.
Then the Hemwick's issues handled, I got more. More than just him. There's quite a bit to actually talk about tonight. So do you want more troubling news, or shall I try to maybe lighten the mood a little bit?
Let's lighten the mood. Give me what you think is troubling news. I'm amused by this. Tell me.
Trouble?
Yes.
Troubling news? What do you know of Omni Corporation?
Small beans. On the surface, of course.
Attacking the small beans on the surface, but attacking the high hall, constantly attacking members of the Fight Finder organization. Attempted assassinations, killings, took my fucking spine, for one. This is all ancient history, mind you. Stuff that happened before I came here to Palace, before I started doing business with you. When I was doing work for Mr. Gormunder on the side.
And?
Had some corpo goon rats come in here, start causing a fuss, threatening to call corporate on me. I lost my temper. Committed a quadruple homicide. Ended up with a rather ominous corporate reaction force coming down in here, and now I am paying considerable amounts of money to the Omni Corporation to keep the peace.
I see. Maybe I should have set you up a little deeper in the Palace District then. Seems like you're attracting other corporations that think they can move into the Palace District unobstructed. Omni
does what it wants. They don't really care. They're not from Zephyra. They do advertise here in town. You can see their advertisements outside my own club. I'm pretty sure that's targeted, by the way. They take things personally, in my opinion. They hold grudges. And despite outward appearances, they ain't synths. They're like me. Borgs. A whole race of them.
I see.
This is purely a personal grudge on my part, and I apologize if I caused any undue stress in this matter.
Stress? No. Not coming up to me sooner? Yes. That is a problem. Corporation moving in on my turf.
I wanted to make sure that they were going to keep the peace. They sent their first debt collector around. I felt it was fair to finally talk to you about it. Pretty sure they're just gonna collect the money and not clip me or make any other power moves.
Did I not make clear the condition of the district you moved into?
You did?
I used descriptive enough language to emphasize on the dangers, the brutality, the grotesqueness of what happens in this district.
You did.
And you moved in the understanding that I am providing this location for you and safe harbor in this district.
Indeed.
And goons came around and have made threats to you. And you sought fit to elevate your position to maintain your peace in my district. Is that correct?
Yes. I handled the business.
You handled the
because
business.
I didn't want to make trouble for you.
Didn't want to make trouble for me. What happens when a singular rat gets onto a transport?
I don't know.
It multiplies. It has found a way in. More will find their way in. Bigger rats will find their ways in. Rats that are bigger than you. Clearly, there's already a rat bigger than you that has you under their thumb. If they're sitting around debt collectors, that means you're not paying your fee. Which means you've become a problem.
I'm still making all my debts payments to you, to them. I didn't want them coming in here killing my staff, killing me, madam. And I also did not want to embarrass myself before you.
And here we are. Instead of sending me a memo and informing me of a situation that has happened, simply providing information. Again, I stress that they are sending around debt collectors. That means they have you under their thumb. You are in their pocket.
For 3 months.
Remind me, why are you making these payments again? What is the grounds of this debt?
Cold-blooded murder of 4 mid-level corporate managers.
Because they came into your establishment, started trouble, and refused to leave? Or... Oh, you said cold-blooded. Oh.
They did make threats. I lost my temper. These digital scars on my faceplate. I have a psychologist tells me they're psychic manifestations of cyberware directly tied into my emotional state, right? It's not a glitch. It's me actually showing a scar. This one's from somebody else, but this one under my eye. That was Omnicorp. Like I said, they took my spine. They've been trying to murder good friends of mine for months. Made my life a living hell. And having those 4 fucking clowns over at that fucking desk and giving my staff hell, me hell. I just saw red. I ended up in a lot more trouble than I thought I was. Yeah, they might have been a plant. I wouldn't put it past them.
Well, the good news is that there's no formal policing or judiciary in the Palace District, so using terms like cold-blooded are not going to necessarily bite you in the ass. I would advise you to stop saying cold-blooded, though. These welcomed visitors to your bar aggressed against you, made threats, and in self-defense of yourself, your property, and your employees, you handled the matter. You stood your ground. Sounds perfectly legal to me.
Then they showed up with a small army. And if you're not familiar, the reason the High Hall got fucking trashed and Gormunder got made fucking flat broke was because of Omnicorp. They have killed people way more powerful than me, madam.
Yes.
When they showed up with those legs here, it was either going to be a massacre or I give them what they want.
I see.
I know our agreement was not one of your protection. I was supposed to keep things under my own purview. Protect my club. Don't start problems I could not handle. Those were your words, were they not?
Are you fact-checking me for your benefit or for mine?
I'm just asking for clarification. You told me not to start trouble that I couldn't handle myself, yes?
Yes.
So I handled this trouble rather than going to you.
Ah, you have handled it to the best of your ability, then. Is there any more news?
Yeah.
Is this more bad news, from your opinion, or good news?
Wouldn't know. I don't know your history in this town. I'm still a newcomer. And an outsider, no less. So... Athena and the Stormbringers. You familiar with them? Waterfront?
I am. Very familiar. Daughter of Sachi.
They've opened up a bar.
Yes, Copper Street.
Hmm. So they might be getting into a war here soon.
With you?
With the Tigers.
With the
No,
Tigers.
not with me.
Okay.
You familiar with Kathy, gal that runs the Nine Heavens over at the Mega Building 636?
I'm sure I will be very soon.
Okay. It's a Tiger's front out in the waterfront, right? It's a brothel. Just within the same sphere of reference as the meat rack, right?
Yes. Hamsky, I believe, is leasing that building from, well, I assume it's the Purple Lotus's business now, but Hamsky is the one that is overseeing those few blocks.
I don't know about the Lotus. As far as I've heard, that place is dead. Joints just full of skeletons now. Anyways, this ain't about the Purple Lotus. Cassie is the owner of the brothel. She is intending to ditch the Tigers for the Stormbringers' protection. Could be a war. How this relates to me. One of Athena's people, big fish fella by the name of Alcoy, maybe you're familiar with him.
Should I?
Somewhat of a general of hers. Acts like a big shot, people seem to listen to him. He saw Cass and I talking at their bar the other night. He brought up this idea of a triad. Not sure what it means. We haven't had a formal meeting. What were his words exactly? Sex, drugs, and muscle. I think you can put together who's who in that triad.
Yes. You've listed them already.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, he pointed to people when he said that. Cass was sex, I was drugs, he was muscle. At least I think that's what he was saying. He's kind of hard to understand. Anyways. Figured I'd keep you abreast of that situation as well, because I don't know what it fully entails. Plus, I don't know your feelings on Athena and the Stormbringers, and if you're interested in having them coming by my place.
Well, as you've just demonstrated, running your business you do how you wish. Them coming by and visiting your establishment is not a problem at all. I'm sure there's, what are they, Whisperers and Valentes and Tigers and whatever fuck all street level gangs there are visiting your establishment.
Yeah, surprisingly haven't had any Tigers show up.
Well, if you start
Plenty of Whisperers, though.
You start welcoming in with open arms their irritant, then you'll probably see more of them. Now, my question to you...
Nothing I can't handle.
My question to you, though, is... would you consider your establishment here part of an extension of their territory? Is that the kind of welcoming in you're doing?
No. Wouldn't allow that. This is my club, my neighborhood.
And
That's how that works.
there's no way someone would construe your buddy-buddiness with this gang as a partnership?
Talk of the triad, and if I become formally part of it, yeah, that essentially in street terms means a partnership of some sort.
Well,
I don't know what it fully entails. I don't know what Koi wants. Again, I'm bringing it to your attention on the off chance it becomes something much, much larger in the end.
Let me give you some insider information, some business tactics. There's a reason why tech support is in the Palace District. Any big obvious reasons come to mind to you?
I've only got rumors and hearsay to run off of. Things people told me about you. Connections to Upper Zephyra. These are all rumors. I don't put much stock in them because obviously we don't have that kind of relationship. But if I were a betting man and you are from the upper city, then maybe there's some sort of connection to the upper city through this district. If the rumors are true.
Get a little less
If that's not true, then I got no fucking clue.
I see. Well, all of the debauchery and raping and murder and burglary and theft and drug use and gambling and whatever else happens on the street corners all around, which crime syndicate or gang or whatever organization controls it? Heavens, no.
You? No?
No.
Nobody controls it.
Exactly. There are no tigers going around and collecting protection money. There are no whisperers going around and beating up thugs on corners to get the pimps to run out of town. There are no... Well, the Stormbringers start.
Fish people?
The first word that came to mind was laughable, but they're not very well established yet, so they're not laughable yet. The point is, there is no organized street-level gangs here. For a specific reason. It is a lawless area of the city. It is corporate cannon fodder. It's general cannon fodder if some street-level gang decided to make a offensive move against tech support. Trust me, everything between the checkpoints and my office will push hard against that. As everyone around here likes not having a proverbial thumb pressing down on them. So, the simple answer to the question that I asked that you did not provide is that I'm here because there's no one else trying to control the area. The moment some kind of affiliation with organized crime, well, citywide organized crime and control, moves in, it will be terminated. Again, you make your business choices of how you want to operate your business. You made it clear in your not cold-blooded murder that you care about your property and the people that work here. So you'll make decisions in their best interest. But you'll also make those decisions knowing my best interest too. So if you think you can handle this triad and the Atlantis not becoming associated with a street gang, I'm not telling you how to operate your business.
I sell drugs to the hyenas. You ain't seen them moved into the district yet, have you?
No.
Then perhaps I can make that part of our agreement clear to Mr. Coy. And if that's a deal breaker for him, then I won't get involved.
That sounds smart. You explained to Mr. Coy that if the Stormbringers appear to have established some kind of presence in the Palace District, that it would be terminated with vengeance. I'm sorry, that's not the legal term. Terminated with prejudice. Then yes, we would all have an understanding.
Then the final bit of my biz for tonight.
Your biz, yes.
I've made a lot of friends since setting up shop here. I've been running for a few months. There's people that want to run shops basically right outside my front door. Do I tell them to go to you? Or do I cut out the middleman?
What do you think about increasing your investment in this area?
I have an interest in it, Madam Pixel, because it's twofold. I told you about the town I've been from, right? Naco
Yes.
City. Told you a little bit.
Yes.
We got cut off from the MV. A lot of Nakites like myself. We can't go home anymore. Not sure what happened, but our way back home got severed. A lot of them are squatting in this area. Locals are starting to call the neighborhood around the club Little Naco.
Yes.
I had a reputation in my hometown. I was the fixer and the drug dealer with a heart, because the monopoly that ruled over my city didn't give a fuck about the little guy, right? People wanted justice that came to me, and I didn't charge them a dime. They expect me to do the same thing here. Reputation being what it is. And reputation's everything in my hometown. I understand that you would not want an organized crime organization taking over any sort of roots here in Palace. But what about a group of do-gooders? Street samurai, we call them back home. People that are trying to protect a neighborhood, not extort people for money, doing things to help their community. That wouldn't concern you?
What you just explained does not concern me now. But here's what will happen. I'll have a contract delivered to you that you will sign. You will take over leasing the additional 2 blocks between here and the district wall. You, in the contract, will have the power to sublet spaces. Do you understand what subletting means?
Yeah, means I can rent out a space on your behalf or for my own benefit, but I'm still kicking up to you.
And if one of those places becomes a problem for me, who is the actual problem for me?
If I can't handle it, then you're gonna come down here, kick their ass, and then you're gonna kick my ass. Yes?
If one of those places becomes a problem, who is the problem for me?
Me.
Correct answer. Because you are subletting to them. I am leasing to you. You are responsible. Let's call this a trial by fire. I'm curious, with all the fingering you're having in these other gang-related ventures, gang-associated endeavors, I want to see if you have the ability to maintain an air gap for Palace District. A trial by fire to see if you're
Air
useful
gap.
or not.
Air gap. What, like a buffer?
Not a buffer, no. An air gap, meaning a physical space between networks where it's not connected. So if something were to pass through that air gap, let's just say it like this. With your budding business, it is making enough money to become a blip on my papers. So, it becomes beneficial for me to keep that blip around, as it funds things for me. Small things. Very small things. But some nonetheless. So if you can operate within the Palace District and not be a thorn in my side, then it's beneficial.
I suppose I've been doing that already since you haven't had to come down here yourself.
Oh yes, you've been doing a
I've only ever had to call
fantastic
you.
job. Omnicorp is just coming around to collect, well, not protection money, but reimbursement. A corporation is setting foot into the Palace District to collect fees that I wouldn't be able to justify on a balance sheet.
It's me paying, not you. And that's all they're interested in, is the money.
I see.
And that's why I think that those 4 managers that came in here, I don't think they were a plant to get at me. I just lost my shit.
Still have their bodies. Are they in barrels down in your basement?
I turned the remains over back to the corporation. They seemed more offended that I murdered 4 upstanding corporate employees of theirs. They seemed just as surprised as I was to be in the situation they found themselves in.
I see.
I know what they're really like when they're actually targeting an individual. They don't talk. They just start killing.
No, this sounds more like a PMC than a proper corporation, then.
I don't know what they are, madam.
Well, keep making your payments, and that won't be your problem. Your problem. So, a
This
contract.
crew
Mm-hmm.
that's going to be protecting this 2 blocks. Believe it or not, they actually do go to kids.
I don't care.
Fair enough. Then I will say no more.
So, your contract will be delivered tomorrow. You will sign it. And then at the point where you sign it, you may start subleasing. And you can begin your urban development, your renaissance. You are also going to agree with Jonas to help his endeavors.
Campaign.
His campaign, sure. For the Palace District Chair.
I will keep you updated of anything he tells me.
Mm-hmm. And part of the confidential portion of that contract is that in no way will Hemwick know that your support of him is in any way tied to me. For all he knows, you are a business of free will operating within the Palace District. Leasing from me, of course, but whoever political backing you choose to do is up to you, and I would never get in the way of that.
Certainly not.
Good. We have an understanding. And now for the part that you think is good news. Are you actually trying to make something up right now?
No, I actually thought the whole me potentially leasing more property from you and you making more money would be the good news.
I guess when you look at the balance of the sheets, yes, it is a good thing for me.
How much will I have to pay to sublet the this 2-block radius?
It'll be in your contract that you will sign.
Very well.
Anything else?
That's it. The rest of it's all minor stuff. Shows and parties planned here. If you want to know, I'll let you know, but...
December 21st. My
Don't think
secretary
it's-
already has that information.
There's also,
That's nice. Have my
Flatline.
secretary informed of it.
Alright, yeah, I'll let you know. Rock a Girl show. Nothing too serious. On the 15th.
It's serious enough to hold me here longer, so would you like to give me more details about this, or is it not truly that important?
It's all industrial related. This gal who's making a performance is the same one that got stabbed by the ball cultists a few days back, was causing a stir on Metagram.
Sorry, I did not... Were there too many syllables? Were the words not parsed correctly?
Then it's not your concern.
Exactly.
My apologies.
If you think maybe a social outing does me good, then again, contact my secretary.
Will do. I think the only one you'd have interest in would be the one on the 21st. Mr. Hemwick's party.
Yes, especially because Mr. Hemwick will be here. The one that I'm sure will have signs plastered all over your bar by the end of the week. But that's how they do it, yes?
Not really, do mostly on social media. Not a whole lot of physical print involved.
Social media. Right. Okay, well, have fun with your tiki-talks. This meeting is over.
Very good, madam. Thank you for not clipping me.
Clipping. Yes, not clipping you. And or murdering.
I mean, that's what that means. Have a good night.
Heavens forbid you would think I would murder you. Omnicorp. Interesting. Wow. Let's see what kind of corporation is, seeing it fit to try to... Ah, I'll simply get the information and we'll move from there.